Okay, so we welcome in now UFC heavyweight Jared the Mountain Vanderaa. Love that nickname, by the way. 12-5, 1-1 in the UFC so far. After his brutal finish on Dana White's Contender Series, that got him a contract of Harry Hunsucker. That was excellent. I was rewatching that earlier. Really cool stuff. He's also fresh after a May victory over Justin Tafa on the Rob Font versus Cody Garbrandt card. Another impressive victory there. That got him a fight of the night performance. I want to ask you about that bonus as well. But before we get to that, the first thing I want to ask you about is getting that contract on the Contender Series from the boss man himself. What was that like, man?
It was kind of surreal. A little bit more like further it becomes a little bit more surreal, but it kind of also felt like another day in the office. It was kind of everything I'd done to lead up to that point. You know, it kind of sucked because I went from getting ready to battle a technician, and then I got a brawler. So my striking didn't look so lovely. And we kind of watched all the videos, and we realized that he only had a good 90 seconds, 2 minutes in them tops. We were like, okay, 2 minutes. If you actually listen to it, you can hear my cornerman Jamal going, it's like, hey, 90 seconds is up. We can win this fight now. It was one of those things where, like, me and him, we just watched him sink. And so once we knew we got, like, the time in, I knew I was going to win. Once I got the victory, I did something very embarrassing. I hate what I did. My little celebration leap. Oh my god, I regret that
What
so
was
much.
that, man? What exactly was that? Because I was rewatching the fight earlier.
No,
So
I don't know. Mistakes. That's what it was. It was a mistake. I was like at this point in my life, I would have rather taken a loss than relive that video.
Hey, you were just getting ready for the Olympics, for the Tokyo Olympics. That's all. For gymnastics. Letting them know you were ready.
Yeah, no, like I got so much shit. My team, their friends and family got shit. They're like, "Yo, your boy won, but what the fuck?"
That's awesome. Hey, but I have to ask, where did you get the nickname the Mountain? Did you get it from Game of Thrones, or what's going on here with it?
I'm a dude that has many fucking nicknames depending on who, when, where. You just, depending on the group of people I'm hanging out, my name changes from fucking everything. It basically, like, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I've kind of started separating myself from the name, for a few reasons. One, it kind of, so let me backtrack a little bit. I got it from just an old classmate who'd jump on me. It's like, dude, it's like climbing a fucking mountain back in high school. And, he just called me a mountain, the mountain. So, but but it was just one of many names. And, some of the names that I was given were not appropriate. One of my more affectionately named ones is Big Fuck.
Okay.
One of my old striking coaches would just come up to me like, "Hi, Big Fuck." I'm like, all right, like, that's cool. But no, I had a lot of I've had a lot of weird names. One of my more enjoyable nicknames that my old manager shot down was just a bunch of me and my old friends. We were big into Yu-Gi-Oh, and we used to duel all the time. Hell, I actually posted something on Instagram the other day about me buying more cards. But no, because I like in high school I had a Dragon Fiend deck, even though I don't think I had the card consistently in my deck because it was my deck revolved around some skull and red eyes with a black dragon. But because I'm 6 foot, I was like 6'2", 6'3" in high school with blue eyes, I would get called the Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Well, so that's not a bad nickname right there, though.
Right? But
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, I want to know if you spent any of your Fight of the Night bonus on Yu-Gi-Oh cards then, because you could buy, I bet, some pretty decent Yu-Gi-Oh cards on eBay with that kind of money.
Yeah, no. So I'm still. So I don't know if I'm not allowed to say this, but I guess you have to wait like 6 to 8 weeks for the bonus to come in. So
Okay.
I still have not gotten it yet, but I did use some of my fight money because I got that like 3 days after the fight to buy some cards. Yeah, no, like I literally posted like what was it yesterday, 2 days ago? I bought like 12, 14 packs, just booster packs, just because I could. And then I found out we have a new card shop in town, so I wanted to show love to that guy.
Nice. So are you in Vegas now or California? Don't you go back and forth or?
No, so I'm stationed in California. Like right now, we're in my business, Team Quest. This is kind of our storage slash locker room. So I own this business, but I do travel to Vegas a lot. I used to live there for about a year. So, and then I just got a newer car that will definitely make my life easier going because I had a Nissan Leaf. So that was only good for getting me from Hemet to Temecula, where I train a lot. And that was the extent of how far I could go in the Leaf because it's fully electronic. Whereas this car that I have it's a Prius. I don't care what people say. I'm not a car person, but Prius works for me. And I live in California, and everything is super fucking far away from each other. Like my gym that I train at is 25 miles from my house. I have to make that commute. Like it's not the worst commute out there, but like from just 25 miles, I could easily hit an hour-long drive. And if I want to get different bodies that I find relatively good, I'm literally making an hour and a half travel outside of Hemet to find someone my size that I respect that could grow from.
Jared, I'm absolutely with you on the fuel efficiency. I also drive a Nissan actually, and I'm 6'6". I'm not as big as you are, certainly by a long shot, but
You're
my
taller than
friends
me by 2 inches.
my friends like to well, yeah, but I'm not as bulky. I weigh about 200 pounds and I'm 6'6". But yeah, I drive a Nissan Rogue, and my friends like to make fun of me piling into that thing. I can only imagine what it looks like with a guy your size, 6'4". You know, I don't know what you walk around with, but you're every bit of that 265 on fight nights. So that's got to be cramped, man.
No, wait. So I have very short legs. Like I have very short, thick legs though. But I have a really long torso. So for me, I don't necessarily need as much leg space as maybe you. I don't know,
I have long legs, yes, very long.
Yeah, but like my inseam on my pants is a 30 or a 31.
Wow. Oh my God, Jared, I'm like a 38. My friends, you're the mountain. My friends call me the tree.
I see why. But no, my torso is where all my length resides, and so like my Prius has actually a lot of headroom, so I swoop right in, and I'm like, ooh, nice. And even my Nissan Leaf, it had enough headroom. But like I've been in like a while ago, I was looking at like a Honda Accord or something, and I remember like I have a sit test. If I sit in it and my head hits with the seat all the way down, I'm not going to buy it. I remember I sat in this, bashed my head, and this guy was like, "Oh yeah, you want this car, don't you? You sat in it." I'm like, "No, I can't fucking drive it." He's like, "Oh, let's get the paperwork done." I'm like, "What part of I literally can't drive this? Don't you fucking understand?"
What did I say?
I can't. I was like, I can't fit in the fucking car. Why would I buy? Oh, don't worry, I'll get you approved. I'm like, how fucked up are you? Side note, I eventually met this guy. Like this was like a couple months before I worked in a bar. Once I started working in the bar, I met him again, and he didn't recognize me. Then I realized how much cocaine this fucking dude did. I'm like, oh, this makes sense on that cell. It was fucking garbage, and he was cracked out of his fucking mind.
Well, I have to say though, I know you being a Team Quest guy, Dan Henderson is probably one of my favorite fighters. What's it like working with him on a day-to-day basis?
Okay, so he's not there every day, and if he's there, he's just being old, as I like to say. Like he's 50. What 50? I think he's like 50 years old.
Yeah,
To me,
he's
he
somewhere
might
around
be-
there.
Like I think he just had his birthday, or his birthday's coming up, like 51. Like he's old. Like he will get in there for a round or two. Like when I go with him nowadays, I just purposely just try to out wrestle him. Like he like I know I don't need to go 100% with him. I
Right.
mean, like the dude's been an athlete all his life, but you're not going to go 100 with someone that is 100. Like he still tries to get down and stuff like that. And, that old man strength is still there, so he still hits like a fucking brick. But for the most part, I just find myself, just kind of like, all right, whatever, like I try to out wrestle you, just because no matter what, I think his DNA will never ease up on the wrestling.
I agree with you on that. What did you think of him kicking his daughter's boyfriend in the leg back in?
Which is, he doesn't kick that fucking hard, like at all. Like I've been kicked by him.
Maybe
Like,
to you.
No. Like, okay, I've been hit, I've been kicked. Dan does not kick that hard. To watch him crumble like that, I'm like, all right, bro. Like, I'm like, now if Dan punched him,
That's a
I'm not
different
gonna
story.
say shit. Like even if he popped him in the gut, I'd been like, someone find his spleen, because it shifted.
What do you think about because this is your division. What do you think about this Derek Lewis and Francis Ngannou interim title fight?
All right, so I'm gonna go completely conspiracy based off this.
Okay.
So there's no factual statement on what I'm about to say, but here's my thoughts: is they're obviously trying to push John Jones versus Francis, because it kind of makes no sense to put two number one contenders against each other when you have the champion available.
Exactly.
So they're obviously pushing that. Now, I don't think that's going to happen until February, March, maybe even April of 2022. And here's my speculation and conspiracy why. I think because John Jones is out of the testing pool. So he's allowed to do
all the
that he
steroids.
wants. And if he's out for 2 years and then he's back in, he could claim that he's on steroids, but it not pop on, because I'm looking at him and I'm like, he's 250 now, and I mean, it's not all fat, and I mean he's from videos he's doing right, but I think he's gonna wait until March, maybe April of 2022 to actually fight Francis, and he's gonna be on that TJ Dillashaw clean juice diet.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't agree more with you. I love that conspiracy theory for sure.
But like I said, I have no evidence, no backing. This is all speculation.
Jared, you need to start your own podcast, because my eyebrows are burning from that take right now. That was a hot ass take right there, man. That's the dirty, reckless speculation from Jared Vanderaa right there. That was great.
Oh no, I haven't done it yet, but I just got asked that question on TikTok, and I was gonna respond with that video of what I just said.
Yeah, I mean, it makes all the sense in the world. I mean, just coming from Anthony Smith, who just, when he came out with a statement saying the whole week he fought John Jones, he tested hot. So, I mean, and I don't see Anthony Smith as a liar. I mean, I don't know. You probably know him more than I do.
Wouldn't say it to his face, that's for sure.
I mean, I've trained with Dom. I saw what Dom did to Jones. I'm like, okay, and I've been a Dom, so I'm not that scared of Jones. So I would say to his face, like, hey.
Well, I'm saying I wouldn't. You can.
I was like, hey, What are you on? What's that juicy juice you on?
Yep. And one last question for you that I've been kind of burning at. I know you got called out this week. What do you think about Tanner Boser?
I posted a bit.
I saw that. I did see it.
Okay. I'm not a Twitter person. I know you guys are on Twitter. I'm anti-Twitter.
Well, I'm on Instagram too. I follow you on Instagram as well.
I've been bad at, like, in the last couple months. Like, I've been really bad on keeping up on Instagram, but Twitter, I'm on it. I have a little bit more fun. But no, I'm down. Like I said, I'm down to fight Bosner. Well, and the thing was, I was offered that fight 2 weeks ago. I accepted the fight because I think stylistically I can beat him. Like, it's not that I don't think he's a good fighter. I just think stylistically he plays very favorable to my style. And I think, he's one of those people, though. Like, I don't think I'm going to go in there and just be like, pop, pop. Like, I've seen this dude take a lot of punches and he's just boom, boom. Though I do want to cut his fucking mullet off. Like, that drives me fucking insane. Like, the only shit talking I want to talk about is that goddamn haircut of his. Like, outside of that, I'm actually a fan. Like, when I ran into him when I fought Hunsucker, I ran into him a few times, him and Surreal Gone. And I thought he was a cool guy. Though he's actually a big dude. I'm looking at him, I'm like, nah, I don't weigh more than him. He gets on the scale, 240. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how the fuck are you this small? I'm like 30 pounds heavier than you.
Now, you may not drink a ton right now because you're, a professional athlete, but I want to know how many beers or drinks it takes to get 6'4", 265 on fight night, Jared Vanderaa drunk. And then my second question is about the black nail paint and why you do that.
All right. So actually, the first question is actually a lot more loaded than you think. First of all, I fucking hate beer. I do not drink beer. I think beer is disgusting. I know that breaks some people's hearts, but if I do drink, it's usually like I'm gonna sound like a bitch, but I don't care. I'll drink the fruitier drinks like Mike Hard's lemonade based malt liquors or Smirnoff Ice, stuff like that. I'll fuck with those. But if not, I tend to drink actually hard liquor, and I'll drink hard liquor maybe a lot more. I usually keep it to 1 or 2 drinks just because, and I do it every so often just because alcoholism does run in my family, so I'm a lot more very respectful of alcohol. But doesn't mean I don't have my favorites, and the full recording of the one time I actually measured how much I drank to get drunk was basically maybe 2 or 3 shots left of a full Kraken bottle.
Ooh. Okay.
I fucking
Kraken, huh? I haven't heard that in a while. Wow.
I do like some Kraken, yeah.
No, I'm upset because I'm looking for the limited edition collector's California edition Kraken bottle, and I cannot find it fucking anywhere here in Hammett, and I'm a little upset.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I actually really because the few liquor stores around here, I went to them, tried them out, couldn't find it. And then I tried I think Gooselin black barrel rum. It's okay, but I'd rather spend like $15 on Kraken and actually enjoy my drink a lot more.
Fair enough.
So yeah, that's what it takes to get me drunk. It takes 3 bottles in about 15 minutes to get me drunk.
And then the fingernail paint was my other question.
That I haven't done in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Simple yet long answer is, I paint my toenails for kicking so I don't break my toenails off. But then my OCD kicks in, so I paint my nails. But I paint them black because I tend to have a big fascination with the cold. I kind of grew up listening to a lot of gothic music and industrial music, so it's very common to see a bunch of those artists do it. A lot of my friends that like all kind of hung out in that scene all do it, so it's just kind of one of those little things where even though I don't fit your stereotypical picturesque of an artist that's like gothic or anything like that, it's one of the few little cues that I have left. And it pisses a lot of people off too. I found that out too, which I really do. Oh, like once I found it pissed off people, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna fucking do this all the time now. Like I hurt Twitter's or not Twitter's TikTok's feelings with the nails that like. So after my fight against Tafa, I did it like, hey, here's all my little bumps and bruises I got from Tafa. And one guy goes, that's what you get for painting your nails black. I'm like, I won the fight.
Yeah, you won the fight.
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe that's why I'm walking away with an extra 50 grand. It's like, fuck you.
Right. Hey,
That's
but
too
Jared,
funny.
I do have to. So, my dad, he watches UFC when he comes up, and he has actually picked you as his favorite fighter. So, do you mind actually giving him a shout out? His name is Charles Sparks.
Charles Sparks, thank you. And thank you for having your son so you can have me on the show. I'm not used to this, so I'm glad you like my fights. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, when we watched the Tafa fight, and he was like, "That's my new favorite fighter." After that, so
Yeah, no, I was worried about that fight though. That little cut, I'm a bleeder. I'm like, watch, one fucking judge is going to give it to him because, ooh, I bled. Ooh.
Mhm.
Sure enough, one judge gave him a fucking round. I'm like, motherfucker, did you not see that I punched him more? It's like he has as much blood as me. It's my blood, but it's still on him.
Derek Lewis and Cyril Gahn. Who you like?
That one's fucking hard. That one's hard. Like,
Flip a coin, man.
I've been trying to wrap my head around who would win this fight. So you got Cyril Gahn, who's a phenomenal technician. He's quick on his feet. He's light on his feet too. I don't think he throws with all bad intentions. I think he throws bad intentions when needed be or when the opening's there. Because if you look at most of his fights, he's a very technical fighter. He's really not knocking people out. Like when he's on his feet, you know, he fought Bosner. He went all 3 rounds. When he fought Rosenstruck, all 5 rounds. You know, he's a very technical fighter. He's not going in there to outwork you. Like he's going to outwork you. He's not going to try to knock you out. And then you got Derek Lewis, and Derek Lewis being Derek Lewis, you got asterisk 1 and asterisk 2 on his hand. So it's just like, and I think this would be an interesting fight for Derek because he's been kind of stuck with going with high level grapplers lately. That I think for him, you know, it might be a fresh change of pace going with a striker, especially beating Cyril Gahn and then going to fight Francis. I think that does boost his confidence with potentially beating Francis. To pick, though, I think it would be hard. I'm going to go with Derek Lewis, though.
I like it.
Counted him out too many times myself, man. I've bet against Derek Lewis too many times. I've learned my lesson. I'm going to stay away from that one. I was talking to a friend of mine earlier. He said they call him 007, 0 cardio, 0 wrestling, 7 significant strikes, and he wins the fight.
Yeah, like, I mean, we all saw the Volkov fight. He lost the fight until 3 seconds. Boom.
Yeah.
It was like, fight's over.
And
like,
the best comment after too. My balls are hot.
Yeah, like he's that guy that you don't want to count out. But I mean, Cyril Gahn's very technical. I think he reminds me of a younger Rico Verhoeven.
Okay.
So that's like, I don't want to count Cyril Gahn. I think it would be a decision, and I think the decision might go to Derek Lewis because I think his grappling abilities has gone through the roof between Latifi, Olenek, and then also Curtis Blades. So I think he might be able to out wrestle Cyril Gahn, or at least cage control him. to go get the victory in the 5th round.
Yeah, I mean, even though he lost the DC fight, I mean, you can still see he's still working on his wrestling. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, no, he's definitely improved from that DC fight. Plus, I think, I mean, that's UFC championship. I mean, I kind of get that one.
Absolutely. Well, Jared, man, we'll let you get out of here, man. Enjoy the rest of your day. Congratulations on your year anniversary of the gym as well, and many more years of there. And do you have any fights coming out, or no fights yet, or anything announced?
We are talking about a fight.
Okay.
So I can't, like, I haven't officially said yes because I'm having my coaches look over it. But I will most likely say yes because that's just the person I am. But maybe, like,
Okay.
I'm not gonna say yes because
Okay.
the person they offering, he might just be like no. So I would have to shut that down. So there's something in the works.
Well, when you get that fight announced, come back on and we'll do it again. And then after you win, we'll do it again another time.
I'm down for that.
Awesome, man.
All right.
Well, thank you so much, brother.
Thanks,
All right,
Jared.
gentlemen.